Good afternoon. I'm here with another video. Gonna talk about Buddy. So the idea is, without any real pre-preparation, gonna talk about the ideal things somebody typically does when they first get money and all that. We're just talking about typical. So typically, even when I was younger, and even when I was younger than younger. I don't know if this trend started in the 80s or the 90s. I'm sure it started in the 90s. All these people that were going to high school wanted to go to university and get a degree, get a bachelor's. Most commonly, a lot of people, some people were thinking of getting masters, but some people didn't want to stick around that long. So there were people who were getting bachelor's degrees, and they wanted to get it in business. And they truly believed that if they got that degree, they'd be starting off with $80,000 to $100,000 a year, just in their first year. And what they typically thought was, okay, I'll be able to buy myself a new BMW, for example. I'll have a new BMW, and I'm gonna be living it up like a bachelor. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have my own condo, apartment, whatever you want to call it. Somewhere in a downtown of some city where I'm working, and I'm working this nice job, and I'm gonna live a bachelor life. So my first 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna be partying it up with my friends and coworkers and former university classmates. Just keep the networking going. And then I'll be partying it every weekend. We're gonna go to nightclubs. We're gonna go to bars. I'm gonna be eating, hanging out with my coworkers and buddies all day, doing all this shit, taking vacations, going here and there, and I'm gonna do all that shit. I'm gonna have a good old time. And if I get sick of it at the end of 2 or 3 years, or I get bored of it, we're gonna look into marriage, because by that time I'll be a little older and I can get married, and I'll probably marry some girl that I'm dating anyways. We'll get married, we'll have kids, 2 or 3 kids, move from the condo into some kind of house, in a nice big house. She's gonna have a degree also. She's gonna be working. I'm gonna be working. We can afford that. We can afford a really nice house. We'll both have brand new cars. She'll have a Mercedes brand new. I'll have a brand new BMW, and we'll be driving around, and we'll be the shit, and blah, blah, blah. That's typically what people were thinking when they first get money. You know what I mean? That was like the most common dream. Unfortunately, what happened is that way too many people started getting degrees, and jobs were just hard to come by. So your average person graduating with a bachelor's degree was working a job for maybe 40 or 50 grand a year starting, which is the same as somebody working a labor job. Okay, so no, they were not doing very well at all. That plan fell to the shits. Even today, these degrees, they don't do shit for a lot of people. All right, and the people who are already gonna be brought into it, doesn't really matter. They just go into school for the hell of it, and they're gonna be brought into it anyways, and it's not a big deal. Okay. Now. Well, that's explained quite well. A lot of those people, their degrees didn't fall through, and they ended up, and you know what? None of their dreams went through, because they got their degrees, they got a shitty job, couldn't even afford a condo, so they got a cheap ass apartment somewhere on the outskirts of the city, driving an old Honda Civic, and that nightclub life never went through because all their friends were goddamn lames. And they all wanted to hang around in the basement, drink and brew all night, playing video games, and mixing drinks to feel like they're cool. Every now and then, they go to a nightclub and have a horrible time. They go to a strip club every now and then to feel like they were cool males. Overall, life was just horribly shitty. And after about 6 months, the guy is thinking, I gotta get married so I can get a second income, so we can move into a better, he's thinking all that stuff. He gets married. She has a baby right away, and he's very happy that she has a baby right away. and now he's taking care of the baby. And she's promising that when the baby gets old enough to go to school or daycare or preschool, that she's gonna start working so that they can have a double income. So now this asshole is working, spending his entire paycheck on taking care of the baby and their shitty ass apartment and everything they need, and his shitty ass car. His buddies are also in the same predicament. They're all getting married now, and now they all hang around with their kids and their wives and do fuck all since their baby shower and all that. They hang out in an apartment, cramped up, talking about shit that's lame and doesn't matter. All right? That was the reality of it. Okay? That was the reality of it. Now, let's get done with that. What do I think? I think it's just not practical. You know what I mean? It's just not practical. You know, somebody thinking, oh, well, I'll just go to university for 4 years, yeah, but what's going to happen in 4 years? You're going to get a degree in 4 years. What if the market's not like that anymore? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? They can't really do much. Now, all these crazy dreams are not working out. Oh, my friends, oh, my university classmates. No, your university classmates and the co-workers that you know are all like your friends anyways. So what difference does it really make? Where are you right now? Because I don't know where you are. You see, you didn't know where I was, but I was in the shadow world. So I was doing well. I just wasn't doing well. But I was doing well, but I wasn't doing well. But I was born into darkness, so I really had no choice. But I muscled my way through. And that's a different deal. Now that we're done talking about them, because I know we don't want to talk about people like that. Let's talk about people like me. All right. I'll tell you what I ideally thought. So I was staunchly against university, but they were choking us with it. You know, since about 8th grade, they started brainwashing us that when you go to 9th grade, take all academic courses. In 11th grade, you're going to switch into university courses, like from academic, it branches into university. So you got to get all university credits in with good marks. Which are a bit tougher classes, and then you get into university and they give you that same spiel, that dream. So so that's done. That's done. So for me, I was staunchly against it. They were choking it down my head. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, hold on. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay. There was one university in particular, which was in downtown Toronto, which is where I worked anyways, which I was willing to go in because they were the only university that offered a bachelor's degree in business in entrepreneurship, which obviously fell through, and I knew it was going to fall through. I mean, fell out, and I knew it was going to fall out, and I didn't want to do it anyways. So, yeah, granted, I didn't do anything amazing, but after, you know, I did enough to you know, it is what it is. I had a different kind of life, and I'm a different kind of person, just like in every single way. But having finally, you know, hit that point at age 31 is not so bad. But I'm not going to brag that, oh, I did this smarter. No, I'm not going to say anything like that. But I followed my own path. Now, granted, I don't feel the same kind of pressure on my shoulders as other people. It doesn't mean I feel less. I feel a lot, but it's just a different kind of thing. And we're different kind of people. You know what I mean? My thing was robbing a bank. Your thing was working a job at that company or whatever it was. You know what I mean? But we're different in some ways. And that's all it is really. But you know, you got to think practically, and then you got to have plans going on, and you know what I mean? And some people just, I don't know. They were just treated too much like children, and they got older and they thought they were really cool, which they weren't. You know what I mean? You really find out who you, anyways, I don't want to get into that, but it is what it is. What can I say? Okay, so try to be a bit more practical. Try to actually have plans. Like, okay, this will fall through. We can do this and that and that. Try to really, you know what I mean? That's what they used to always teach us. Try to do that. You'll be fine. For future generations, just do your thing, do you, find your way, make sure you find your way, and do your thing, and you'll be fine. And I got nothing else to say. If you want to make money, watch my next video.